Let's see. Live. Okay.
Hi, Lupa.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys. I am very sorry. For some reason, I was trying to uninstall, and it's still uninstalling an app out of my computer. It was making it lag so that Nicole, this is Nicole, by the way, my good friend Nicole. So everyone say hi to Nicole. But her and I were talking on the phone, but it wasn't syncing up in StreamYard, and it was so frustrating. I was like, oh my God, I'll tell him to wait a little bit longer. So I think we're good now. Are we good? Still hear my sound and everything good? There's Mexi. Mexi, I reset my wrenches. Hang on. There we go.
I have to YouTube on my phone here.
This is Mexi.
Oh, let me turn the volume down.
Mexi, I reset my wrenches.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, guys. So let me go down. Thank you for waiting patiently. Hello, Linda, Doodle, Mary.
Hi, Doodle. Hi,
Kara. Let's see. Shelly. Shelly, I mailed your package out today. Roro G. Leisha. Leisha, I'll send you a link if you wanted to call in soon. Purple Butterfly. Mexi, of course. Oh, hey, Connie. All right. So, again, if there's a lag at any time, guys, just let us know in the chat because my computer was being... First, I couldn't even hear Nicole. So, anyways, Nicole, do you want to introduce yourself really quickly? And
hi, everybody.
What we're speaking about? My
name is Nicole St. Louis. Today, we're here to discuss, well, the base, I think, of this live is the book, My Daddy is a Hero, which I'm sure throughout this live, we are probably going to delve into all different aspects of this case. But yeah, I'll let you take the lead on how we're going to start this off.
Okay, so a lot of you have been emailing me about, oh my God, I'm so excited. I got the book and I finished it just in time. So I think, first of all, what did you think about the book, Nicole?
Well,
because you know what I think, but I'll let people know what I think.
Okay, let me see. How I have been following this case for a long time now, and I feel like I know a lot of the ins and outs of the case, and of course we all have our own opinions. But so when I was reading the book, a lot of the things, of course, I already knew about. So I was really into it. I thought it was good. It was good reading. Until it got to the part of the book where, and Robbie, I'm sure you can agree with me to some point on this, where it started to talk a lot about the psychology of things, which is one of the reasons why I'm so interested in Chris Watts. But she kind of veered off of talking about the case and about Chris Watts, and I felt like I was in a psychology class just in general. And it was just going on, and I was just kind of leafing through it towards the end going, okay, all right, let's get back to the subject here.
Mm-hmm.
So I would give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, I was blowing up Nicole's phone last night, and I'm like, oh my God, because I finished the book last night, finally. And I agree. So we'll get into, what the beginning of the book was about, if you guys have read it, or if you haven't, and give us your opinion as well if you have read it. It was getting into some details that I wasn't even aware about the case because I never read the discovery. I never sat down and read the 2,000-page discovery, but there's lots of things that I want to go over that were said, little details about different situations. And then, of course, when they did get into the psychology of the book, what really disturbed me about this book is the woman, the author. She, great writing, whatever, but she says she's not going to diagnose Chris Watts. And then she continues to diagnose him. And I'm like, what is she doing? But we'll get into that later. So let me pull up my notes here. Okay, where did it go? All right, so.
Reading at Lufa's comment.
What did Lufa say? I'm too lazy to read. Yeah, I have to be very interested in something to read it. And I really tuned out because I didn't feel like having a psychology lesson, especially when, none of us can diagnose Chris Watts, because we don't know him. Well, I'm not a therapist or a psychologist or whatever. can't diagnose him. But this woman was going through, basically it went from the Watts story into completely just going into educating people on what different narcissists are, different types of psychopaths and stuff like that.
Right.
So
exactly.
With that being said, we can get to the beginning of the book. Do you feel, because you read the discovery, right? Or you skimmed over it recently?
I got through quite a bit of it. It is almost 2,000 pages.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that, though, you skim through because they scan in everything from the officers' chicken scratch notes from when they first arrived on scene.
Mm-hmm.
That's all scanned in. And you're like, well, I don't want to see all that. So you're trying to get to the, should I say, the main points of this
Mm-hmm.
case. There's a lot to scroll through. So
Right.
I didn't get through all of it. I got through a good portion of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the discovery, I recommend anybody start to go through. It's amazing.
Right.
It's interesting.
So, okay. So when it comes into talking about the relationship, I guess we can start there, of Shanann and Chris,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they're talking about, because I don't feel like there was really any bias in this book. Do you?
No.
Like, I feel like it was very open-minded.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely makes it very clear that Shanann was the alpha, and Chris, was submissive, quiet, shy. Thank you, Doodle. And so as far as that, Nicole, how do you think, like, as far as portraying their behavior, because we'll get to the part where in the end of the book, it talks about how this was not Shanann's fault. And of course not, but
Mm-hmm.
it does in the relationship build, talk about leading up to why things might've happened. And with Chris,
that kind of goes back to the psychological aspect of it as well. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It does.
So how do I say this? Okay. So I'm going to say this. It does paint Shanann in the light of being the one kind of in control. And I want to make this clear because, to be honest, hey, Katrina, to be honest, for a long time, and I'm going to say when I first saw Shanann's videos after this all happened, I was like, wow, this woman's kind of annoying. And that's just the honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
But as the book progressed, and you actually, in this book, you guys, you see the text messages that she's sending to her friends. You see, that she really wants to try. And Shanann is actually recognizing that behavior that I saw in her through videos. She's saying, what do I do to change? I want to help this. I want to help my marriage,
Mm-hmm. And she even outright said, what do I need to change about myself? Do I need to look at myself? She was willing on all aspects. And
yes.
the way that she was being the alpha, I would pretty much say she was a type A personality. Nothing wrong with that. But mm-hmm. Chris Watts definitely was not. So their dynamic allowed her to be alpha. And it allowed
yes.
him to kind of be under that. And they both kind of meshed that way. And some people, I think, view that as, her being, a bitch, her being bossy, her being this. And it really brings to light in this book, I will say, why their dynamic was like that. And when it came down to it, when, Chris started to act weird, he was having this affair that yet Shanann didn't know about. It just kind of goes to show Chris Watts, like when he kind of laid down the law on his end, hey, I'm acting weird. I'm not catering to her anymore. She freaked out. What do I have to do to change to keep this going? She's not a bad person. She had no cruel intentions. It was right. How their dynamic went throughout the years. It was just how it unfolded.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe.
Yeah. And so as far as like how their relationship went and stuff, I feel, because Chris wasn't always attractive or in shape. I mean, maybe attractive, just not in shape.
Sure.
Then he got in shape, and, Shanann even said, Chris doesn't have any game, so I don't think he's cheating on me. So as far as, do you think that had anything to do with, he's like, wow, I'm actually like good looking now. Now I can actually find.
I believe that had a lot to do with it. I think he was probably getting attention at times where he normally would not have in the past. Absolutely. I think him thriving or when they started that, I think was when he started to shape up and get in real good shape. And then all of a sudden, I think he felt more confident about himself and kind of, stood back and was like, wait a minute, oh, now he became tunnel vision towards somebody else and a life that he wanted, but he had all this baggage that was stopping that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So, I mean, with that being said, I definitely, I think when it comes to being, because there's always divorce. Okay. So if you're being turned off to somebody and you meet somebody else, somebody who has communication skills would just flat out be like, okay, this is going to end. I don't want to do this anymore. So if you guys watch the Lifetime movie, they kind of portray the death scene of Shanann as an argument and her saying, I'm going to ruin your life. I'm going to tell everybody what happened. You're not going to see the kids. And he kind of snapped, right? Well, this book kind of gets into the premeditation part of it as well.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yes.
Absolutely. I wish I had the book with me.
I know. Nicole mailed me the book after she read it. So
I should have taken notes before I sent it out.
Right.
But I think a lot of the reason too, I think he saw a wall when he thought of getting a divorce because they were already financially strapped to begin with. They had already filed bankruptcy in 2015. They were 3 months behind on their mortgage payment, I believe, when the murders took place. You got 2 kids you'd be paying child support on. You'd have a nasty divorce. It would have been a shit show, I think, for him. And I think that played a lot into it too. I think in his mind, in my opinion, I think he thought of finances as well. That was a piece of the pie for his reasoning, his warped reasoning.
Right. Well, I think so. Let's get into Nicole for a minute. Not you, but NK. So they meet, they're attracted to each other. There's all of the sexual tension and all that kind of stuff. As far as her, I want to talk about her like kind of a little bit extensively because in this book, I discovered something different about her that I did not know before. So you guys know that when NK went to the house, and first of all, I want to make it clear that I don't think that she was involved in this at all. And Nicole does not either. However, when she went to the home and she says, I was in there, I saw pictures, of the family. And I asked him, you should work it out. And she kind of made it sound like she was being sweet, like work it out with your family. When the book, it says she went out to her car and waited in her car for an hour. And she was arguing with Chris via text message over, and that's when the first idea in his mind planted that he wanted to get rid of his family.
Yes.
Yeah. So
what was the time frame on that again? Because he had said, well, that was when was that in lieu of the actual date of the murders? Was it a couple weeks? I'm trying to remember.
I believe this was right before, and I could be wrong, but I believe it was right before she came back from, or I think it's right before he flew out to North Carolina for them both to come back, or, all of them to come back. And that's Butters, her bird, by the way, everybody.
Okay, so yeah, we're talking like a couple weeks then, time frame.
Okay, hold on. Angela's saying something. Sorry, Angela. Let me scroll up and see what you said. Either he had been trying to convey. Sorry, Angela. He didn't want to be with her the whole time she was in North Carolina.
That's true. That's very true. In a way, it was his actions. He didn't outright say anything yet, did he? Or is that when he said that they're not compatible? When did he tell her that? I think that was the night of the murder, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, but his actions were certainly showing that when they were in North Carolina. That was where her panic started. Or just before, I think, because he was being weird through text and everything. And then when he flew out, it kind of stayed the same and got worse. Because she had mailed him that book. To help their marriage. So, So it started before he went to North Carolina, just before, got worse throughout. And then, So it was definitely building there.
Yes. And so NK, I think she definitely wanted to make her load a little bit lighter. As far as the not wanting to look like she was involved, which I don't think she was.
Not at all. I don't.
The case. However, when you look at the fact that Shanann was all over social media, posting a lot of personal stuff on there, about her pregnancy, her life, and clearly when you have your family on camera with you and stuff, it's a public profile.
Mm-hmm.
So in my opinion, you can't tell me that a mistress is not going to look at people's social media. That just blows my mind.
That's the first thing they're going to do. That's the first thing they're going to do. They're going to go and try and find out everything they can.
Right, exactly. So, yeah.
No, I don't believe she had anything to do with the murders, but I think she was 100% guilty of knowing what she was getting involved with this married man. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Doodle said she was a catalyst, but not involved.
Yeah, sure.
Now, I think that he was a bit more obsessed with her than, her liking him, because I think what Chris did was he finally had somebody who had interests that he had and that listened to him and kind of didn't control things as much.
Also so domineering. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I mean, I'm sure the sex was a little bit more crazy as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that for a man...
From the interviews to the text messages, that's abundantly clear. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So do you think in any way, shape, or form, that NK, do you think that is the main reason that put the idea in his head? Is that relationship? Or do you think it's more the fact that he just could not stand the situation that he was in?
I think it had everything to do with NK. I think she, with no fault of her own in this, because again, she was not involved in the murders, but because this new being came into his life, that he became so tunnel visioned on. And you have to remember, he's not psychologically sound to begin with. I mean, I don't know if I'm diagnosing, because I'm nowhere near able to do that. But what I mean is he's a narcissist. And I say that with full confidence, and I don't have a medical degree. I mean, He is a narcissist. They don't think normal, whatever that is. Anyway, so he became tunnel visioned with this girl. I think NK was, they both had an unhealthy dynamic. She came into a situation with a married man with a family and a baby on the way. She knew all this. Chris Watts came in from a different unhealthy way, being a narcissist, being, starting this with NK with intentions that NK had no idea of how tunnel visioned he really was, if I'm explaining that correctly. They both came in at it from very unhealthy ways. And little did we all know how unhealthy his ways really were. So.
Well, okay. And so I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but since we're on the subject of NK, I want to talk about the sunflower picture. That he took the picture of the sunflower at Survey 319 and he sent it to NK.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay.
Tammy says in her opinion, she's involved. See, and this is where his stupidity comes in, because I do think that he's incredibly stupid.
He's so inept in so many areas. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Well, and what it doesn't explain in the book, and I don't know this if you guys can tell me, but why did he do it through some secret burner phone or something? Or did he just straight up text her from his phone, the sunflower picture? If you guys don't know, he took a picture of a sunflower after he buried his family and sent it to NK. And it's like, and you know what it said? He also texted her and said, "My family is gone." Do you remember that part?
I don't remember him saying that his family is gone.
Yes. My family is gone. And then I think she responded. Yeah, when they were looking for him, and she was like, "Gone? What do you mean gone?"
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because that was when she started to kind of question things, and she backed off and said, "Maybe we shouldn't talk until you get all this figured out."
Right.
So I love it.
I love loofah too.
I know.
Leisha's saying he sent it from his work phone, is her understanding.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah, possibly his work phone, because he had those two phones, and they never talked much about what was on his work phone, right? So I can imagine he probably didn't do a lot from his work phone because it was his work phone. But I'll bet you there was a few things on there. I'd be willing to bet.
Yeah. And then, yes, they're talking about the Metallica song in the chat. That to me is very strange.
A little creepy, I think, too.
Yeah, and this was one of the only interesting parts of the psychology part about the book is they're saying a psychopath, once they kill somebody, they're talking about a serial killer, and I don't remember his name, but he actually drove home singing after he killed someone. So they're saying that could be linked to being a psychopath, is singing a song after you kill your family is almost a celebration. Like you're happy about it and you're singing.
And considering the frame of mind he was in, I mean, he still tried to function afterwards. He made phone calls to the school. He made phone calls to his realtor. You know, he was still trying to go through all the motions. So I believe he was singing. I mean, he's nuts.
Yes. I will agree with that.
Yes, knock, knock. I agree as well.
Yes, and he did use the calculator app. Oh, you can use the calculator app to talk to people too?
And I think to like hide pictures in. I know he was using that in North Carolina. I don't know how long before that, but yeah, he had that calculator app too. So
yeah, because you can put the pictures in there. So, okay, so to me, I'm just going to say my opinion and you can say yours, linking from the relationship to the murder. And then we can kind of get into like what happened as they found out the murders, you know, everything else. In my opinion, and everybody has been in different situations in their life. In my opinion, I believe that mental abuse, physical abuse can go in both ways. Obviously, this was a terrible relationship, but in my opinion, I think when your body changes and all of a sudden you haven't been confident your whole life, and then all of a sudden, as a man, I know this, when you start working out, first of all, it builds up testosterone. It makes you horny anyways. Then you become good looking and have women coming after you. I think that sex kind of became an addiction for him. And I think that he realized, you know, once he met NK, that he was in this new relationship where he could be himself. And, you know, when he finally snapped and started planning the murders, I think it was when he was spending all of that time and his family was going to come back. And he's like, you know what? I'm enjoying kind of being a bachelor, having my own time. And this is where I think he's an idiot. You know, instead of doing the logical thing and saying, hey, you know, I want to get a divorce or whatever, he thought it would be easier to cover his tracks. Like no one's ever going to find the bodies. So,
exactly.
In my opinion, to put it bluntly, I think that he was just thinking with his dick big time.
I think that's huge. I think he was thinking with his narcissism, with his dick, with his newfound temporary bachelorhood. That I think thoughts of them all coming back and going back to this mundane life where he was under somebody's thumb all the time and he wasn't heard. He couldn't really stand up for her. He didn't really stand up for himself. He probably dreaded them coming back and getting back into that life, especially he just wasn't a man at home for 6 weeks while his family was away. He was a man involved with a whole other woman doing a completely, or should I say, living a completely different life. He didn't want that to end. He did not want that to end.
Yep. And Daniel's correct. He did keep his emotions suppressed. Yes. And he almost, there's a part of the book where he's talking about, you know, and that being interviewed by the police and stuff, that he said, you know, when I lose my kids in a grocery store, I don't feel panic. I just kind of walk around looking for them. He doesn't worry. And that is the traits that she was also talking about of like a psychopath, is that he really had no emotions. Like, oh, I lost my kids. Oh, well, I guess I'll just look for them.
Because he didn't know how to act, because he doesn't know how to act, because he doesn't feel the way that most of us do. People like that don't, you know, they don't really feel. So that's why they mimic people around them, like the book was saying as well. So they know how to act in situations. And so they don't look weird, or they try not to look weird. Or that's why, oh, Chris was so quiet. He was always the quiet one. He's the shy one all the time. He's so shy. He's so shy. The guy didn't know how to act. He didn't have really any real emotions. So yeah, he would feed off of what was going on around him. Hence the infamous interview. He had nobody to feed off of. They had the spotlight on him. Hey, what's going on with your family? He had nobody to, help him. He had nobody to mimic. He had himself. And that was why he bombed it. That was why. That was the moment. That was everybody's aha moment. Oh, he did this.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's so weird how calm he is, especially when you're trying to cover your tracks and you're trying to not let people know you just killed your whole family and just sitting there as calm as can be, whatever. So I guess as far as the psychological part of the book, I guess maybe that made that part a little bit interesting. However, you guys, if you do read this book, if you're interested in that kind of stuff and you want a schooling, read that part. But other than that, I just skimmed through that part because it bored the shit out of me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It starts off really good, and you're into it, you're reading it, and then you're like, wait a minute, when is this part going to stop? You're like going through the pages, and so, yeah.
Okay, so I kind of want to talk about like the confession part, like around that time. And this is going to get a little bit controversial, and you and I actually have different opinions on this. So it'll be perfect. Everybody's opinion is welcome here, as long as you're respectful. So one thing that I feel has been kind of misinterpreted, or people tend to be a little bit biased in this area, is when the father was saying, oh, you really got to know Shanann, because when Shanann was, when it was first said by Chris, okay, when he said, oh yeah, no, he changed his story and said she hurt the girls, so he killed her. When Chris's parents were kind of talking down about Shanann, right? Like his father said, oh, you just got to know the type of person she is, stuff like that. I think what a lot of people forget is they'll say, oh, they're victim bashing. But you got to remember, this is a family that kind of already was bickering with Shanann to begin with. So you have like that monster-in-law type syndrome and daughter-in-law. So I can tell you right now, like if somebody said that one of my exes had killed my kids, but I did it, my parents would believe that the other person did it, because they're going to take my side, and they've had a bad opinion of that other person anyway. So I think that's not very clear to some people. I think they just think that they were attacking Shanann, and I kind of disagree with that. But what do you think about that?
Well, I know we've talked kind of just you and me about his mother.
Yes.
You kind of helped sway me. I was 100% no on this woman. I didn't think she was a good person. I think she started things that didn't need to be started. I had all these negative opinions about her. You kind of put it into light where it's like, oh, okay, well, maybe not so bad, but still not 100%. But if you listen to the prison recordings when he calls home, and those are recorded, she was saying that she thinks that, her big thing is she should fight, or he should fight. He should fight this. And, with her, should I say, false hope of him getting out of prison. And he's like, no. And she's like, well, we all know how she was. And even Chris Watts, and not defending him at all, Chris Watts, though, at the time said, but yeah, Mom, no, she wasn't a bad person. Like, Mom, stop that. She was already dead, gone, and buried. And here's Cindy Watts on a prison phone call saying, well, we all know how she was. So I'm not 100% on Cindy Watts. I'm just not.
And so because let me go to I wrote something down about this. So, obviously, they're talking about the nut situation, in the chat as far as the nuts go. So it sounds to me, just from everything they had been through, that, her and Shanann, Cindy Watts and Shanann kind of bumped heads anyways. I also think that Cindy and his father didn't really take Shanann seriously as much as they should have, especially when it came to the nut situation. Like, oh, she's overreacting, you know, it's fine. One of the main reasons they got in a fight is because Shanann said, you know, don't let anybody else eat this in front of them because that's going to be teasing them and taunting them, you know? So I think a lot of people look like, oh, you know, Cindy was teasing and taunting the children and stuff like that. In my opinion, I think it was, you know, they didn't take her as seriously as they should have.
I agree.
You know, so I think that whole Nutgate situation, that's kind of what happened with that, is just miscommunication. I don't think Cindy was trying to kill the kids like a lot of people believe.
I don't think that. No.
Yeah. And I don't think that she's a monster either. Just for the fact that, you know, a lot of people say, why is she saying that Chris should fight? He's the one who did this. The way I look at it is I try to put myself in her shoes. I'm not a father, but I put myself in my mom's shoes. Thank you, Shelley. And so if I was in that situation, and let's say that I killed my children, but let's say that I was telling my parents, no, my wife did that, right? And my parents already don't like my wife because they think she may be crazy or whatever. My parents are going to take my side. They're going to be like, okay, you need to fight this then. You need to win. And I truly feel that that's what Cindy was doing. She truly did believe and you know, didn't want to believe that her son was a murderer. So, I mean, I don't look at his parents in a bad light when it comes to that at all. They wanted the truth, you know, but they wanted their son to be innocent and they wanted to believe that second confession.
Well, and I also believe that a crime so heinous, and so unexpected, I think, especially as a mother. I mean, I'm not a mom, you know, but the way that she acts about things, I think that there's a wall put up in her mind that she's just in complete denial. You know, there's no way. Like when she tells him to fight, obviously he's never getting out of prison. What are you going to fight for? I mean, he's not even on death row. So, I mean, it's like he knows his fate at this point. His mother, on the other hand, still needs to come to terms with that.
Right. What do you think about, because me, clearly, I mean, I seriously will forgive anybody. That's just who I am. What do you think about, you know, a lot of people think it's very controversial that his parents still say, you know, we still love you. You know, when they were up talking in court, they're like, we love you. We still love you. You know, of course, you know, that's your child. I understand it creates like he's a monster and that's the evil thing to do. But in a way, you know, Chris didn't die, but they lost their relationship with their son. It will never be the same again. So they're also hurting. A lot of people may look at them as monsters and stuff, but in my opinion, I feel like they've been attacked. So I couldn't imagine what they're going through, as well as Shanann's parents and her brother as well. But it's a terrible situation because a lot of people automatically go and they blame the parents. Yeah, your upbringing, of course, will do that. But my aunt, they raised him as a monster. We're on the same mind track. That is my Aunt Sally. Yes. But I feel like there was a lot of different things involved in it, you know? So
absolutely. Well, I you know, also people who have sons and butters. No, sorry, my bird is chewing on
butters.
People that have family members, especially the like a son or a daughter. If you're a parent of somebody, you'll see so many parents. My son would never do such a thing. My son would, you know, they're in such denial and everybody's screaming at the TV. How do you not see this? You know, Cindy Watts isn't the first person to act like this.
Right.
And I think a lot of it, and again, I'm not a mother, so I don't fully understand, but I can imagine it has to do with the fact that your brain just goes into straight denial, you know, and false hope.
Yeah. And I agree, Missy. Both families are hurting badly. And, you know, I feel like a lot of times when stuff like this happens, we just like when you go to a company, right? And let's say an employee pisses you off, but when you go to complain, that employee's not there anymore. You want to yell at the first person you see in the uniform of that company because you need somebody to yell at. And I feel like that's kind of what happens in a situation with the families, you know, and a lot of it goes for Shanann's parents too, because a lot of people sit there and say, oh, she was controlling. She was mean and rude and all into herself and stuff. And that's the parents' fault. No, I mean, that's just the way that she developed in life. I don't think she was a terrible person. I do think she was bossy and stuff, but that was her character. That was her. That's just the way she was. And she wasn't like that in her previous relationship. Remember?
That's right.
In fact, wasn't it marriage? It was the opposite. Yes. So when she met Chris and she was pushing him away, and it even talks about that in the book when she was sick, they first met, and in the book, they kind of imply that that's how Chris kind of fooled her, I guess, is that nice guy image, oh, I'm overly nice. Oh, I'm doing good things for you. And he kind of developed that and kept that image throughout the rest of their relationship. And he cares very much about what people think. They do stress that in this book, that he cares so much about what people think about him.
He's a good guy.
Yes.
He's the helpful one. Let me be here for you. Me.
Yes.
Look what I'm doing for you. Yeah. That's typical of a narcissist. So
let's see.
Again,
I have a question.
My opinion, that's hugely what he is.
Yeah. So Sandy says, I have a question. Shanann's parents are very upset about the movie coming out, but Frankie wants everyone to watch. I believe that this movie coming out is like, they gave it like the green light. I thought her parents are for them. Aren't they supporting the movie?
It's a
the new
documentary,
one, Netflix?
correct?
Yeah. Are you talking, Sandy, about the Lifetime movie or the documentary that's coming out on the 30th?
Because I would think that, and I don't want to speak for him, but I would think that Frankie wouldn't be so crazy about that, the actual Lifetime movie. From what I understand, they weren't too. But if he's, if he's pushing for this other documentary that's coming out, that's news to me as well. But that's interesting. Right.
Yeah. So big difference is she was a strong woman who had goals and plans, and he was a weak, worthless man, and still is.
I agree, Sally.
Yeah. Okay. They are supporting. April says they are supporting the documentary.
Okay. Oh, I'm so excited for that to come out. The 29th, right,
too.
guys? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the 29th or 30th, something like that.
It's like, it's on a Tuesday. Next Tuesday.
Right. Okay. They're all saying, the Rusick support the Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, and I feel I guess closing the part of the family, because we don't have to talk about them the whole time, but I did want to remember, I was like, I kind of want to stress this part because I mean, it's kind of upsetting to me just, because you see advocates and stuff like that really are supporting Shanann's family and stuff. But I'm like, I have sympathy for both, like just the same amount. I think it's horrible. And I couldn't imagine if Sandra, my daughter, my hamster, murdered somebody, which I'm sure she's going to. She's crazy. And she got locked up in prison and our relationship changed.
Now, no matter what she did, you would still love Sandra, right?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, I already know she's a psycho. My hamster is a psycho, and I love her. Obviously, I'm not joking about the murders or anything like that, but I'm just trying to put it in perspective that we kind of go for who we can. The parents aren't in prison. How dare them still love their son? How dare them tell their, hey, mom, son to fight? There's my mom and my dad in the picture.
Hi, Joan. I love your son. He's so great. You raised a good guy.
I actually just started that new account for my mom today because she got locked out of the other one. So I put that picture of her and my dad on there. Okay, so is there anything
there's so many different aspects of this case that I could just talk about all night. And even with his parents, as much as I sometimes kind of hem and haw about Cindy, I'm not 100% on some of her actions. I do believe that they are also victims, of course. I mean, I'm not hating on them by any means. But I think both families are suffering still, obviously. Both families are victims. All of them were just your everyday people. They were you and me and the guy next door. And all of a sudden, bam, they're in the spotlight with this horrible tragedy and it's attention that they never asked for. So I feel bad for all of them. Everybody lost in this. Everybody.
Yeah. And I wanted to direct you guys, if you have the book right now, or if you're going to read the book, write down pages 116 and 117, because you get a full statement from the parents kind of retracting their statements. You know how people say, you know, they're bashing Shanann still and they're doing this. They actually released a statement that retracted any of the things that they said about her, thinking that she did this, and any mean things that they might have said about her. Page 116 to 117. Read that. It's a long statement, and you'll see, you know, if you have anger towards them or whatever, I just recommend reading that because it kind of puts them in a different light than maybe people might see them as being evil people, because I don't think they're evil. That's just, yes, chapter 16 was was that the one that they said, warning, don't read this chapter if you don't want details, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you're very sensitive to details of this case, I recommend staying away from the discovery as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I haven't even dived into that, just simply because of my attention. So I was like, 2,000 pages, I'll read the books. Which I do feel like this book really does, like the first third of the book, it does kind of sum things up. It gives you, it puts you in many different people's shoes in this situation. It really does. So I like that it does that and it's not biased. However, I'm really not for the whole psychology part about it, because I'm like, come on, like you don't know him. You've never met Chris. We cannot diagnose these people and just say they were this or they were that.
Too, like there's so many things that in my bones I know that Chris Watts is, but who am I to say? I'm nobody, you know. So it's like,
you're somebody.
Just an opinion, not a diagnosis.
Oh, Unjustified was reading the discovery out loud on their channel.
Yes, Unjustified. It's good, isn't it?
Let's see. The perfect storm of a guy who loved what the new life had to offer, and not everybody's routine and wife, the debt, and a new baby on the way. The new woman did her homework and knew exactly what he liked. Okay, so speaking about the pregnancy, one thing that I learned in this book that I actually didn't know before. Hey, it's Sightly. I reset my wrenches in Sightly, so give me just a second, Kay. And to anybody else that doesn't have one, I had to reset them all. So as far as the oxycodone, that part of the book, I had no idea that he was trying to make her have a miscarriage.
I found that out kind of late into my interest and knowledge of this case as well. I was like, what? When did that happen? I didn't know that. And then there's, I think, conflicting stories coming from Watts himself on how many times he supposedly did try this. At one time he said he did it twice. Then he said, no, I only tried to do that once. I don't know the real story on that.
Well, I mean, and obviously, I guess, you know, when it comes to that, obviously, okay, if you're willing to kill an unborn child, obviously you're plotting a little bit more than that. So that kind of, with the premeditation, when that comes in, and also speaking of premeditation, the picture, the famous picture, you know, of the doll that he took a picture of with the blanket over. Yes. And Shanann even says, I don't know what to think about this.
That is one of the things where I'm like, you know, can we just talk about this for a minute? This blanket picture Barbie doll situation. If that isn't creepy, I don't know what is.
Right. Hi, Lucy. Welcome. Well, I mean, obviously, yes. So with premeditation also comes people and rumors, hey, Yanksy, of people saying that, you know, somebody else was involved. Somebody else helped. And I don't see that. A lot of people think that there's another car that can fit on the You've been to the house, Nicole, just recently, and I have too. That rock area over there, do you think that a car can fit over there?
Not
and it
without
would be obvious.
Nobody else was there. Nobody else was there.
No, I don't think so either.
No. This was a solo excursion.
And, you know, for the longest time, I thought that he had snapped, but really kind of what popped that theory out of my head is reading this book. Wait, Missy's saying it was a life-size doll? Was it a life-size doll?
No, it was a Barbie doll.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it was like one of their little Barbie dolls.
Oh, Cherry believes that he sent the picture to Shanann to threaten her. Yeah, kind of like a heads up. You know,
maybe roundabout way coming from his crazy little Chris Watts mind. Yeah, sure.
yeah, since he was terrible at expressing himself, maybe that
Right?
was his way of kind of subtly saying, maybe you want to leave now, instead of just, because he had terrible communication skills. He still
God.
does, because he
Yeah.
changes his story all the time.
Yeah. And there's no feeling coming from whatever he says. So it's almost like robotic.
Right. Oh, Jennifer's saying it was a life-size doll. I can't really tell from the picture, so I don't know. But it was a bigger doll, they're saying.
I want to look it up again. I will later, but okay.
April kind of thinks that NK was involved somehow. Certain things don't add up. Yeah, I mean, they don't. But I think NK knew. I think she just wanted to make it clear to people that, I didn't know, because she didn't want to look promiscuous or like a homewrecker. But I think she's guilty of knowing. Excuse me, the coffee's dried out my throat. I'm going to mute really fast.
I am going to be right back. I need to pour some more in my mug. I'll be back.
Sorry, I'm drinking coffee and water at the same time because caffeine dries out my throat really bad. I listened to Shanann's friend's interview again this morning. She said Chris was distant for at least 6 months. How long was this really going on, and who falls in love in 6 weeks enough? That's another thing too. And I won't go into this other part, but I'm not even going to say this on here, but there's a lot of conspiracies around this case. I'll just say that. So, yeah, I won't get into that. I don't want anybody getting mad at me. There's a video of Shanann where Cece is on the to hold her, trying to get water, and you can see Barbie standing in the doorway, and it's taller than. Oh, okay. Thank you, Michelle. I didn't know that. I mean, either way, I think no matter how big it is, it's definitely a warning sign, in my opinion. I mean, I kind of see that as, these are the events or what's to come. However, doing the paranormal investigations with Mexi and stuff, and maybe Mexi, I don't know if you're still here, if you want to come in for this part. Chris, now, sorry if you didn't hear this part, Nicole, but they're kind of talking about the doll, and I kind of want to get into the demonic part about it, and maybe if Mexi wants to jump on.
Oh, speaking of, sorry to cut you off. I just I thought Mexi said he was leaving and he wasn't feeling well enough to join us, which I was going to ask how he was feeling, and I hope I read that wrong, because I was really excited to be on panel with him tonight. So, because I know he could add some things in with this case as well. So,
yes. Oh, thank you, MJ's Life, and I mailed your tapestry out today.
Lupa.
Appreciate that. What did Lufa say? She's always saying fun stuff.
She put Mexi to bed. I thought he was leaving.
So in the book, Chris has, speaking of the demonic part, I think the picture was very demonic. I think a lot of parts of this case are demonic. But he claims near the end that he was possessed of some sort, and now he has come to see the light. He's come to know Jesus for the first time. He has a relationship with God, with Christ, and the demon has left, right? So what do you think about that, Nicole? What do you think about that? What do you guys think about that?
I mean, if that's how somebody feels, that's how they feel. I can't take that away from him. Although his timing in finding this is questionable. Day late, dollar short kind of a thing. I don't have a lot to say on that subject just because it's so controversial. It's so broad. But I mean, if that's how he feels, if he says he had a demon in him, like he had said that when he was strangling Shanann, something came over him and he just couldn't stop. Maybe that was his moment of snapping, even though it was, he pre-planned all this. I think once he got going and that something came over him, I think that was him snapping. Whether it be a demon, sure. Whether it be his brain, who knows what it is, but it certainly wasn't something good. Right.
And so Nicole and I, we send voice messages instead of texting pretty much all day long. And I was going off about this, and you woke up this morning, you're like, wow, that changed quickly, because I was saying how much I loved the book. Near the end of the book, she was talking about psychology, but she starts to get into him turning to Christ and his Christianity. And I know a lot of people are weary, you know, they're kind of up and down when it comes to who to forgive and who not. I do not like that this author, how do I put this nicely? I didn't say it very nicely on the recording. I don't like how she puts science and psychology over someone's relationship with God, because I believe in my heart that everybody has a chance to go to Christ, to have forgiveness and that kind of stuff. So she's kind of saying, remember the statistic that she put, Nicole? She says, here's the number of prisoners that usually turn to God and then they stop. You know, they kind of do it just as an image thing. Right. I do not feel that we can put psychology out there and say, this is why this person's turning to God, because everybody turns to God for different reasons. And that part of the book just made me so mad. I was like, you can't say that somebody's not truly going to Christ. Like, everybody can go to Christ. And that, as a believer, that just made me so mad.
Right. And some people, you know, go to Christ at all different times of their lives, whether there's, you know, good things or bad things going on. So it's hard to judge that from Watts. I mean, I say, yeah, his timing's weird, but then I just go back because of how heinous his crimes were and how empty and void he is of any kind of feelings. But nobody can judge when you go to Christ or when you bring him into your life if he hasn't always been there. Right.
And yeah, Patrick and Jamie comedy. I totally get that. You know, a lot of people, they're like, okay, well, where do we draw the line? In my opinion, just as a believer in Christ, I don't think there is a line, but that's just my personal opinion. Now, do I think that justifies being like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go out and kill somebody, but then I'm going to repent afterwards and I'll be okay. No, intention is everything. And God knows when you truly go to him and you say, look, I'm a mess and I need you right now. I need you. Everybody, in my opinion, is welcome to that. Now, where did that comment go? This is also what I wanted to talk about, Nicole, is the fact that Chris does kind of want parole. Is Lufa saying something again?
Yes, she is. That's what I'm like. That's exactly what I'm laughing at.
But you know, he does. He states, you know, he doesn't believe that he belongs in prison. He's found God, and do you remember that part, Nicole? And that he says, you know, I don't belong in here, and I don't feel like I would do this again if I was out. First of all, I don't think he's ever getting parole. What do you think?
No. Oh, heck no. And now that is something that a lot of inmates say who have life or who are on death row. You know, I don't believe I would ever do this again. I don't, you know, there's a lot of things that a lot of them say. But it does go back where you cannot judge their relationship with God. No matter if it is with an agenda of convenience at that time. I'm sure a lot of people in his shoes do that, but you can't say that for sure. Just like you can't really judge Chris Watts, bringing Christ into his life all of a sudden now that he's in prison. We're in no position to say anything about that.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't feel it wouldn't change my opinion on somebody if they said they were a believer in Christ or not. You know, because even people that don't believe in Christ, there's still lots of really good people that don't believe, of all religions. So I'm not going to be like, oh, they're just doing this for that. And it's not going to change my opinion of somebody if they say they're a Christian either. It's all about the way you treat people and the way you live your life. You know, your actions speak louder than your words. So I don't know. That part we can't diagnose, in my opinion, at all.
No,
you can't even begin to, as far as someone's relationship with Christ. Because, oh God, I got so triggered when I was reading that. I almost wanted to throw my book across the room. I was screaming out loud. I was like, what the fuck is this lady talking about?
Yeah, she didn't need to add that little tidbit in there either.
No. Hey, AJ.
Hey, you know what? I really like some of the comments that, well, first of all, Lufa has been making the best comments all night. But there's been some really good comments in here, and the one that you have up now from Leisha, I don't think he understands, and that's it too. He doesn't understand. It's not. I mean, I think he gets it to a point where he knows he's not getting out, but I don't think he'll ever grasp the full reality or concept, the magnitude of what he did. I just don't, it's not within him, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I feel like people use religion as a way of manipulating people or transferring blame are not true Christians. I think Chris is using God in order to deflect blame and for public approval. Yeah, and you know, lots of people can think that, but what I'm saying in this book, as this woman is in, she's not a psychologist. What is she again? I forget what she says she is. She's not a psychologist. She's a psychotherapist, right, or something like that.
I don't remember. I don't know. God, I wish
I don't like how she's kind of like saying, no, you know, I know that he's going to God just for this reason. I'm like, you do not know that. You know, nobody knows anyone's relationship with Christ unless it's between, nobody knows mine. I can talk about my experiences with Christ, but nobody will ever know my full experience. And that's okay because God knows. And that's why when it comes to that part, it's like, there's no diagnosis, there's no psychology that you can say for that. Like, yeah, if he's doing it as a cover up, yeah, I guess you could, but we don't know that.
Yeah, and we can't say one way or the other. We just can't.
All right. Roddy One says, I think we will never know if he's found God or not. Only God knows that, as Doris Tate said, there is no relationship between faith and release. Well, and we also, I don't think a lot of people also look at this part, but Chris knows, you know, he's got to know, hello, you killed people. That's a sin. Hey, Daniel Bishop. Not only that, but, you know, he's probably scared of going to hell now. So a lot of people are saying, oh, he's doing that to get out of prison. I think he's doing it to get out of hell and get closer to Christ. That's why he's going to his relationship. And if he does do that, I mean, in my opinion, I hope that he finds the salvation that he's looking for. Everybody has the right to that salvation, in my opinion.
I think if he has one brain cell in his little brain up there, I believe, my opinion, that he knows he's not getting out. I don't think he's talking about God and all these things that he's saying now to hopefully get out of prison. I'm kind of more along the lines of what you're saying. Maybe he's afraid to go to hell. Maybe, you know, he's trying to find some kind of solace when he sits back and, you know, starts thinking about what he really did, even though I still believe he doesn't grab the whole concept. I do believe something has to be sinking in with him that he needs to be in a better place with something before he goes, whether it be God, you know, not with Satan. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And I mean,
good question, Catherine.
What Catherine said, I think anybody can. I mean, as a you know, being in sobriety myself, you know, I didn't do things that I've never killed anybody, but I've done things that I'm not proud of. And in my opinion, that's what Christ is there for. Christ is there to turn away from your sin and turn away from being a narcissist, turn away from being a drug addict, you know, alcoholic, turn away from being an asshole. That's what Christ is there for to me. So I believe everybody, narcissists and everyone does. Now, do I feel that they can think God is above them or not? I don't know. Maybe they think they're better than God. I don't know.
True.
But I think that is. You're under my. Oh my God! Someone said
Caitlin. It's my friend Caitlin.
You're under my foot, Satan.
You have your
Iris,
mug,
if you're here,
cheers.
We've got Iris mugs.
Cheers.
I got coffee, guys. Don't worry. I'm not drinking alcohol and water. She's drinking coffee or something over there.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
God can bring even a narcissist to their knees. Amen, Lufa.
Amen. She writes.
Aunt Sally says,
how do you say your, okay, is it Tanya? How do you pronounce it? Tanya or Tanea?
Oh, I think it's Tanya.
I can't wait to get your book. I'm so excited.
Hey guys, while we have Tanya in here real quick, this is the next book we're reading, and Tanya is the author of it. It's No Inclination by Tanya Hagen. We're going to read this one next, guys. So if you want to order this book, if you go to, oh God, hold on. Tanya, can you put your link in the chat so that they can go? If you go to Tanya's About section on her page, there is a link that you can order her book. I got mine and Nicole got hers off of Amazon. Hold on. Tanya, I'm going to give you a wrench. That way you can pop your link in the chat there. Go over there, order this book. This is going to be the next one. And I'm really excited to read this because Tanya, this is, how do I say this? This is a fiction, right? Based on I don't know. If you want to explain it, you can. And I don't, hold on real fast. To clipboard. Tanya, if you check your messenger, I'm just going to send you a quick thing. If you want to call in, you can and explain the next one while you're here. If not, if you're busy, that's fine. Hold on, let me.
So yes, it's fiction, here. She says.
Oh, it is fiction. Mm-hmm. Okay. But obviously it is based around the same idea of this case. So that's why I'm really interested to read it, guys.
When are you supposed to get yours? Isn't it pretty soon?
The book?
Yeah.
No, I got my book already.
Oh, yeah, you've been holding it up. Never mind. I think mine's supposed to be here on the 29th. The same day that the documentary comes out, I'm getting her book. Hi, Linda.
Oh, yes. And guys, by the way, the same day that the documentary is coming out, Mexi is releasing his song that he wrote about the Watts case. So that's going to be exciting too.
I didn't know he had a Watts case song coming out.
Oh, yes. I've heard parts of it. It's really, it's very Eminem dark vibe. Some people might be offended by it, but he's not holding back.
I really liked his Columbine song that he did too. And yours. Wait, who did?
I did. Oh, here's Tanya.
You did the Columbine song. That's the one I liked.
Yeah, I did a tragic. Yeah. Hello, it's Tanya, right?
Hi.
Hey, sorry, let me turn off my thing. Darn it, I can't find it. Where is it?
Oh, good, Jennifer. Yeah, guys, if you can go.
I cannot find where you're playing double here. Why can I not find it? That's crazy. Let me just close everything with StreamYard. And then we'll be good.
Okay.
Well, she's figuring that out. Can I just say, if you're not subscribed to her channel yet, you really should. She, one, is an absolute sweetheart. Very down to earth. Very friendly. Very informative. She's got a great channel. I just adore her.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Oh, my gosh. You were so sweet. Thank you. And I've been doubting myself lately, whatever, bullies here and there, but that's okay. But thank you for reading my book. Oh my gosh, I really appreciate it.
I can't wait to get it.
I hope you like it. Is a fictional account of the Watts case, though. So it's basically the same story. I mean, even if you look at the Lifetime movie, it's sort of like that in a fiction, but it follows the same story. I have my killer is Charlie, and he works in a different profession than Chris Watts did, and their names are different, their location is different, but it's exactly the same story. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you reading it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be our next read. So whenever we do the review, I hope you can join us there as well. That would be great.
Very cool. Thank you guys. I'll go ahead and pop off now because I am doing a couple things here, but thank you, and love you guys, and I appreciate everything.
Love you too. Thank you for popping on.
She's so sweet.
Yeah, I'm so excited to read that one. I'm really excited just because I love like a good thriller book, and I feel like with fiction and stuff, it's going to put like that thriller kind of movie, that way you're not like, it is serious, but you're not, it's not the case. You know what I mean? You're kind of in a different world.
I've read so many books online, YouTube, you name it on this case. And I don't ever get sick of it. I'm still so intrigued by it all. But to read some fiction on it, like stemming from that, is going to be just as amazing. I can't wait.
And she does have other books too, guys. I actually haven't had a chance to check out all of her books yet. I actually just discovered her a couple of weeks ago, I believe, maybe like a month ago or so. So yeah, and she's really sweet. She goes live and she does her streams, and she's always very friendly. So if you go in there, you guys should definitely check her out. And Breakfast has been putting her link in the chat. So that's going to be exciting. Hey, DeRosa. Hey, buddy, I reset all my wrenches. So hang on, DeRosa. Sorry. Okay, so where were we?
I know. I don't remember.
Oh, hey, Butters. We love Butters. She goes everywhere with Nicole, that bird. Everywhere.
She's my
even
Velcro
on vacation.
bird. Yeah. She said shotgun.
Let me get back to my notes here.
I had some too.
Before we get off the religious part about it, I just wanted to say, because Chris's parents said that they do forgive him, and they shared a Bible verse. And that was, where was it at? The verse that they shared. Oh, and then I want to get into the wedding, unless you had a note, but the wedding
go ahead.
controversy. But I just wanted to read the verse that they said, 1 John 1:9, if we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. But okay, so we'll move on from the religious part. I didn't want to get controversial. I just wanted to say that's one of the main parts of the book that pissed me off. And I got really agitated with it. Oh, good. They're getting her book. Good, guys. Thank you.
Oh, bam, bam. I have more birds.
And she has the cutest bunny in the world that hangs out with the birds. It's so cute.
Birds and a rabbit. I'm surprised they're all being so quiet right now. Thanks,
I know,
guys.
Butters is being very quiet.
Oh, do not let her fool you. She's a permanent toddler.
Okay, so let's get to the wedding.
Okay.
So the wedding invitations, the controversy around the wedding invitations that Chris's sister Jamie, and why they don't, Shanann so much because she was young. My notes were like, I was pissed off typing the whole time in my notes. So hold on.
Can I tell you what I know from memory on that? Because I don't have any notes on that in front of me, but from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so Cindy Watts and Jamie were supposed to be in charge of the invitations, correct?
Yes.
And then the accusation, or I guess what happened, is that supposedly the invitations didn't get to certain people.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was Leisha saying, right. Now, I mean, when it comes to that kind of stuff, again, I mean, I don't want to put my family out there because my mom will get mad. Let's say just a mother-in-law situation that doesn't get along with a daughter-in-law and also a sister. Sisters can be protective. And it says in the book, Chris's mom and his sister always had to ask him, how do you feel? Are you feeling? Like, tell us what's on your mind. He never did his entire life. They were always asking. And Jamie, his sister, was kind of like a mother figure in his life. Because what was she, like 8 or 9 years older than him?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. So, I mean, here we have a little brother and a son, and we have, he moved out of state, like all this stuff that's involved. So, of course, in my opinion, I think there was just clashing. I don't think that, the Watts family is happy with what happened with, a lot of people think that. And I don't know. Who knows if the wedding invitations were intentional or not. But to me, they have nothing to do with the murders.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
No. I don't think so either. Not with the murders. Who was saying, I was just reading the comments, Chris, Cherry's comment. Chris looked like a weirdo at the wedding. Shanann looks stunning. I agree. Yeah, he just looked, just like every time, if you really watch these videos. And for those of you watching who are really into this case, and some of those that can, okay, if you guys have gone back on her Facebook page, but I mean, I was talking to Robbie about this the other night. You go way back, not just the videos from the past year before she died. I'm talking 2015, 2016. Some of these videos that she has, I mean, it gets fascinating watching Watts, watching their dynamic, watching Shanann's mom with Chris before anybody knew what was going to happen. And you can even see then how he acts. He is just like a robot. Like, it all kind of clicks now that everything is said and done and has happened. We all kind of, see what his personality is. He is like a robot through life, and he always has been. Nothing that stands out to anybody until a time like this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean,
exactly, breakfast. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he's felt like that. And again, that's why I think with NK, he felt so free and ready to move on, because I've been Shanann in relationships before, and I've been Chris before. And I'm not talking about the murder part, and I'm not talking about being overbearing.
I've been both as well,
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Very close
like, I've been the one that's like,
no joking, but Okay.
Well, me too. But no, I mean, I've been in relationships where I seriously felt like it was a prison and I was never going to get out of it. And it was a nightmare. That feeling, hey, Nanya, that feeling is terrible. However, Nanya, I reset wrenches. I'll get you in a minute. That does not mean that you need to murder to get out of it. Hey, Harley.
Right.
So, I mean, in my opinion, yes, I've been both of them. I've been in situations where I've been cheated on. And guess what? I've also cheated on people.
Right.
Both ways. I was ashamed, but yeah. Oh, sure. I hope you rest well, Harley.
Yes, Harley.
Let me give her that wrench. Okay, sorry, it threw me off. I keep seeing people that come in and I want to make sure that they know I didn't just take wrenches away to be a dick. Okay, so what was the Father's Day post I wanted to talk about, but I didn't put what the post was. Page 144. There was something vital that I wanted to talk about that one with. Page 144.
From Tanya's book?
Oh my God, why am I... We haven't started. Thank you for telling me. I was looking at it confused. I was like, I don't remember reading this part.
Like, wow, you got on that book fast.
I know, right? Okay. Okay. Here we go. So Shanann gushed about Chris on Father's Day 2018, saying, Chris, we're so incredibly blessed to have you. You do so much every day for us and take such good care of us. You're the reason I was brave enough to agree to number 3. From laundry to kids to showers, you are incredible, and we are so lucky to have you in our life. Happy Father's Day. The reason I wrote that part down is because you were talking earlier about how he mimics other people, Chris. And when he would write notes to other people, he would use the same wording that Shanann used in hers to lead people to believe that he can experience love, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Because how old is he? 30? He was 33 at the time, right?
Now 30. I believe now he's 33, right? Because he just had his birthday in May.
Maybe, right? Oh.
Yeah. Wait,
yeah,
yours and Iris's is the 26th, right?
Yeah, I'm 10 days after Chris Watts. But he's a Taurus and I'm a Gemini.
Oh, good. Okay.
But yes, where was I going with that? He would mimic other people because he was Googling, how does it feel when when somebody says, I love you? Remember? Because
yeah.
I mean, that right there is kind of validation.
That's just creepy.
It is weird. Yes.
Yeah. And I can imagine that because, there was always, her saying or like he wanted the baby, like they had agreed on it. He supposedly, wanted a son. They wanted to try again. And then towards the end, it was like he didn't want the baby, this and that. I just wonder, I'm sure they had conversations about it before she got pregnant with Nico. But he was mimicking, he was going with the conversation. He was giving Shanann what she wanted. You got type A talking to whatever he is, Watts. She's going to get her way. He's going to agree. Yeah.
Tammy says Chris actually had to tell his mom on the phone to stop trashing her, that Shanann was a good person.
That was, can I pipe in real quick? I do know for a fact that was on one of the prison calls. Yes.
Yes. Well, okay. So I guess we could go back to their, how about we'll go to the personality traits of Chris and Shanann. Chris isn't the type of person I would want to hang out with. And I'm talking about before we know about the murders right now. So Chris is not the type of person that I don't think I would get along with him just because he's a little bit too introverted for my style. There's not really a lot of conversation that can go there.
You wouldn't have any fun with the guy. I mean, what would you do with him?
Exactly. Shanann was, when I watched her videos on Facebook and stuff, she was, in my opinion, she was very good at sales. Very good at talking, being out there and doing
that.
Yeah, exactly. And to be completely honest, is she the type of person I would hang out with? Probably not, because I feel, like she was just not my style. Now, would I not like her? No, I wouldn't say that.
I think I would like her, but she's so over the top. Like they're so opposite. Chris is so under everything. She's so over everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Each one separately, there's no happy medium even. It's just like, no, and no. I would like Shanann, I think, but I would probably want Shanann in short doses.
Yeah, exactly. and the other thing is too, you know, she was all over social media. She was very out there, and a lot of people, I think they try to make her look like maybe she was selfish. But hey, we live in a day and age of social media. You know, when they say, oh, her face was in her phone all the time. Well, I'm guilty of that too. So I cannot criticize her for having her face in her phone. Not only that, but she did a lot of her work in her phone. She would do her Thrive streams on her phone. She would have to check emails on her phone. So of course her face was glued to her phone because that was her job. You know, that's what she had to do to provide for her family and you know, do her thing.
Exactly.
Hey, Lemonade. I reset my wrenches, Lemonade, so I'll reset yours. But
there's just so much in this case. Can I just ask to people that are here right now, I would like to see in the comments, who else has actually been to the Watts house? I'm just curious. I just want to know. And I really wish Mexi was here because I need to know the status of
I could text
possibility.
the link just in case.
Okay.
Where's Mexi at?
Mine too, Lufa. I hear you.
She's one of the sweetest birds ever. I love her.
Oh, Butters she melts in your hand.
Okay, I'm sending him. I just copied it and I'll send it to him.
Okay.
God, he's been sick a lot lately.
Oh, she's got lipstick on her head now.
Oh,
sorry, baby.
Okay, Harley says, I drove there, but couldn't go down the road twice.
How come?
Oh, okay.
Couldn't go down the road twice.
Shirley says
I don't understand.
I was there. The drone ran away. Oh, when our drone took off.
Me too.
Fellow redheads. Ooh, we got Lemonade and Step. I love Bloomsy. Bloomsy.
Butters is showing off her bat moves.
Butters. She's so cute. Is Chris oh, wait, what? Yes.
Yeah, Lufa. Butters and Sandra. Oh, they should have their own channel.
Oh my God. Sandra
might eat Butters though.
Hold on. Yeah, Jamie, I'll text you the link, okay? I reset my wrenches and all sorts of stuff because weird stuff has been happening on my channel. So I'm going to text you the link real fast.
Yes, Poosh.
Okay.
I have more, but they're sleeping.
I do love you, Bloomsy. Your channel brightens my day. She has like a garden outside and chickens, and it's so pretty where she lives. And she's just always very positive.
I would love that.
Okay, so there was another part that I wanted to. Oh, yes. So page 194, when NK, the day that it had happened, that's when she's Googling Ronnie, Shanann, and Chris Watts. Oh, no. It says the night before the murders is what I wrote down. Oh. She was Googling them.
Okay. So I didn't know when she Googled this stuff. I just know what she Googled.
Yeah, so there must have been like some sort of conversation between him and her that maybe he was telling NK like, hey, I'm going to talk to Shanann when she gets back. And maybe that's why she was doing that.
Okay, very possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Before I forget, back to the parents real quick. I just read this, and this was new to me. I think I got it out of the Discovery. Sandy, Shanann's mom, was in very close contact with the police the very second she heard from Atkinson that Shanann and the girls were missing. And in the Discovery, in one of the officer's notes, she was quoted as saying, and this was before the bodies were found, this was before he confessed, before anybody knew where they were. Mm-hmm. Sandy Rushek said, and I quote, "She felt he is going to pour oil on the bodies and dispose of them somewhere." Unquote.
What?
She said that to one of the officers. It's in the Discovery.
Wow. Yes, you're talking about the dream that she had when she woke up, right?
Well, that was the night that Shanann was killed. Supposedly she woke up like right when Shanann was killed at the same time, and something's wrong with my daughter. But she told a police officer on the phone when she had started to suspect something was foul and something wasn't right and maybe Chris was involved. She told an officer that she felt he is going to pour oil on the bodies and dispose of them somewhere. Those were the officer's words in the discovery. I wish I wrote the page number, because now you guys are going to have to go through almost 2,000 pages worth to find it, but it's there, I swear.
Yeah, well, that was crazy when her mom woke up and said something is wrong, and she was freaking out like something is wrong going on, and she heard, I even wrote that part down. She wakes up at 4:30 a.m. her time, panicking because she had a spiritual connection, and she heard in her ear someone said Shanann in her ear, and she woke up. Her son and her husband's like, something's going on with Shanann, something's going on, and they were like, it's fine, I'm sure she's okay, go back to bed. But she couldn't. It was that motherly, that spiritual, intuition.
Yeah. And then fast forward a couple days, she says that to a police officer. I mean, to me, when I read that, that was news to me, and I'm just like, oh my God, whoa. Somebody just said something in the comments that I wanted to, where was it here? Oh,
you saw that on Dr. Phil. Yeah, it's in the book too, guys. That part, what page did I say it was? Page 210 to 211 is when they talk about Sandy waking up.
Oh, April, I'm in the Vegas area too. Anyway.
Yeah, Mandy, I agree. I mean, that just puts that spiritual aspect back into it, especially, and I'm telling you, when you go to that house, I mean, what did you feel when you went to that house? What energy did you get?
Looking in the window, to me, of course, what grabbed me was that staircase. And I remember, I can imagine anybody on the street who saw me looking in there, like, we're probably like, what's wrong with this chick? But I was just taken in by that staircase and just the energy there. To me, I mean, obviously whatever is in Chris Watts is evil as well, but I didn't just feel evil. That's a given. I felt sadness. I felt such sadness. And like when I walked up, the grass was dead. Nobody's maintaining the yard. The whole yard is brown. Everybody around them has beautiful yards. It's a gorgeous neighborhood. But you go on that porch and you look in that window and into the front room, into that staircase, peek all the way back into the kitchen, and all that life that was there, that it was just ripped away. And the last time Shanann was in there was going down those steps in a sheet. It just, it's so sad. It's so sad. And I remember I just sat in the driveway in my car, drinking my coffee for a while. I'm just like, wow, this is just so sad.
Yeah. And Mexi said, I think he's going to jump on. He just texted. And he can explain more about, of course, the feeling that he feels there. But when the feeling that I get at that house, the doll.
The doll, yeah. Oof.
Sandy waking up with that spiritual, something's wrong. Because I believe in spiritual warfare. And also Chris saying that he feels whatever was in him is gone. And in this book, he also talks about, it's near the end of the book, Chris says when he had that interview, when they drove out to interview him, he says, I feel like whatever was in me is gone now. Yes, I did feel evil, Nunya. And he also states, and he says, I don't want to watch myself on that interview that I did on the porch, because he knows that at that time there was something dark and evil inside of him. He says that. I could be wrong the way I worded it, but he says something along the lines of that.
Or the fact that he made a fool out of himself.
True. He did. He did. So yeah, anyone with any empathy at all would feel the evil there really thick and would say, yeah, I mean, it is.
Oh, sure.
Just feel it. And sadness. Yeah. You feel the
very
sadness.
Sad. Very sad. Because there was evil in that house, but there was also so much love. I mean, those little girls. I mean, just these beautiful, amazing, loving little girls. You know, I mean, you can't forget that. And that was in that house as well. It wasn't just all evil.
And I mean, I've been wanting to look up the history of that land. So if anybody knows how to do that, I would be interested, because someone said, do you think it could be evil? Sandy, I also agree. I don't think it's spirits. I think they're definitely demonic and evil, for sure. Big time. You could feel that evil energy even through the screen. Yeah, you can.
To answer Fraulein's question.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, I did. Absolutely, I did. Yep. I just felt kind of somber, and I just knew what had happened in there. And you can't ignore that feeling of just like, oh, did this really happen here? You know, and yeah, sure. It's very uncomfortable, especially if you get out and go look in that window and you're just kind of taking it all in, knowing what you know happened. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay, so that was, and that's where it is. Page 216 is where, remember how we were talking about, I said he texts, my family is gone. That's on page 216 when he texts that to NK. Now, I mean, he could have meant this for many reasons. Some people believe that he texts that because she was involved, which I don't believe that. But later in the day, it says later in the day, he would text Nikki and tell her, my family is gone. It doesn't talk about the response in this book, what she responded, but I do remember, you know, they've talked about this on the news and on different YouTube channels and stuff. And I think NK was like, what do you mean by that? So do you think that he was going to tell her what he did by saying that? Or do you think he was trying to fool her as well?
Absolutely not. I think that's a phrase that he just said, basically saying my family's gone, missing, that kind of thing. I don't think there was even anything behind that. Yeah. In my opinion. And I don't think he was about to tell her.
Yeah. And kind of like an idiot of saying, okay, I'm going to cover my tracks some more. The way he covered it's almost like, oh my God, are you like, don't you know how to fucking like get away with something? Because he did it. Well, and I'm not saying that I wanted him to in any way, shape, or form, but I'm saying he's so stupid the way that he did it. Everything that he did with the sheets in the trash can and leaving them there. Why didn't you take the sheets with you, dummy? You know, like so many things he did was so stupid. Oh, here's Mexi.
Hey, Mexi.
Hey, how you guys doing?
How are you feeling?
Hey, good.
Oh, I've been better. I'm trying to fight it still.
It's been a few days now, though. What the heck's going on?
Yeah, it's been like a week. I've been bedridden for the past week. It's just been bad. Me and my whole family pretty much. So.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys.
Good night, Harley. So, Mexi, you called in perfect time because we were actually just talking about the energy that you feel when you're at the house.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. It's weird because when you first brought me out there, I don't know if everybody remembers or not, the first time that I'd gone out because I knew nothing about the case.
That was the first video I saw of you and Robbie.
Yeah. And like immediately when you're driving down there, like you just get this, it has like an ominous presence to it. Like you get there and it seems off. Like it feels like the house, almost in a sense like stands taller than everything, not just because it stands taller, but like, you know what I mean? Like the physical presence or whatever, the presence of it is like, it just seems off.
That's exactly, yes.
So, yeah, the first time that I gone there, and it's weird too, because I didn't realize, you know, obviously how it would draw you in, but like, I became a little bit obsessed with the case a little bit after me and Robbie had first gone after it, me watching, you know, thing after thing after thing, trying to figure out, you know, details about the case, you know, different people's perspectives on it, just on and on and on, and you kind of get consumed by it. So
yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
Usually the word that people use when they talk about this case, almost every person that they use the word obsessed, like I'm obsessed with this case, and people, you know, because it's true, it does suck you in and it becomes an obsession, because I think the obsession is that you're trying to get in that mindset of how does this even happen?
Right.
Exactly. And I've sat there and spun myself crazy because, like, I'm a person that, like, I try to think rationally through details, even when, you know, on investigations, when we do our paranormal true crime investigations, like, that's something that I try to sit there and think rationally. I'm like, well, why this or why that? Like, there's got to be a reason behind it. And I think that's what's so alluring about the case, is because the who, what, when, why, where, how is a big mystery. Like, you can tell his side of the story, Chris Watts, but my honest opinion is I believe like maybe 25% of his story as to what he's saying. I think there's so much more behind the scenes that we don't know. And I'm just now honestly starting to feel like I'm grasping little pieces of cases, like of parts that I wasn't even aware of. I was introduced to a theory too of, I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but someone had actually sent me some photographic evidence of this even, about the bodies being dragged out the back. I know that people have said that in the past, but this was actually a pretty good evidence thing that they had brought to light, where there was a piece of cloth that was that had been on the, you know, the chicken wire, Robbie, that we had gone to on the back fence.
Yeah, that you wanted to jump.
Yeah, exactly. There was actually a piece of cloth on that, and some that they took photographic evidence of when they were doing the police investigation. And when they had done the sheet that was wrapped around Shanann, there was a piece missing from it that looked like it could have potentially matched. So I found
Hi, Jamie, by the way.
I found that very, very fascinating.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Jamie. You haven't met Mexi yet, or Nicole. This is
No, I haven't.
Jamie making lemonade.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Nice to meet
Jamie,
you
did you read
guys.
the book? This one? We did.
Yeah. Like, listen.
I love your voice.
You know,
it's so soothing and mine's just like loud and bleh. Yours is like so soothing and pretty and feminine and
Aw, you're so sweet. Now I'm all blushing. Like, I get all like, I'm sorry. No, but I did a ton of research on this case for like a year and a half and plus more. Robbie knows. Robbie knows how much I covered this case. So yeah.
You too, huh? Yep.
Oh God.
It does. It sucks you in, doesn't it?
Indeed it does.
I have a question for Mexi, because I'm sure you probably won't hang out long because you're sick. In the discovery.
Mexi, I'm sorry.
I have to pee, guys. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Mexi, too.
You as well. Thank you. You as well.
In the discovery, now this page number I did write down, page 304 of the discovery states, Survey 319 is not monitored by video or any method of access control. So with that being said, when I come to Denver and go back to the Watts house, under the assumption that I'm, obviously going to be seeing Robbie, and hopefully we'll all go run and do something like this, knowing that, would you be willing to actually run up to Survey 319 with me? Because I'm talking not just at the gate.
Oh, you're talking about there. Yeah, well, it would have to be off camera, obviously, because I wouldn't want to. Sure. There is trespassing, but okay. I don't want to incriminate myself, but
I don't either.
I'll leave it open to saying that I would definitely off camera be willing to investigate things per se. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, off camera, absolutely. Yeah, just don't want to obviously incriminate myself on
No,
camera,
of course not. And since you were actually there with Robbie before, and you were up to the gate, how is it, like about a quarter of a mile of a driveway, or like how long would you say it is from the gate to the actual tanks?
I'd say probably probably about, I want to say probably about 2 to 3 football fields in length.
That's not too bad. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's not too bad. It wouldn't take us that long because I was able to fly my drone near it, and it didn't take that long to get there. So.
Okay.
Drones right there. That's a great.
Oh, someone's mic's popping like.
It's me. I think it's me.
Is it me?
Okay.
It might be me. Is it me?
No. Oh no, it's okay.
No,
it's not me.
It's me.
It's gone now. I think it's gone now.
Yeah, so that would be. I think that would be super interesting, Nicole, to go and actually physically be in the presence of, there to actually see. Just like, I don't think people like fully grasp sometimes. Like when we go to these investigations to these places, it's a very, very surreal feeling. Actually being in the locations that things have happened.
Oh, sure.
Versus, watching it. We want to try to give you, that's why we do what we do, because we want to give people a firsthand look. Here's where it is, guys. Here's where it happened. We want to try to get you as close to the action as possible so you guys see it. But it's a very surreal feeling going out to these places and actually being in the presence of it where it had gone down. So.
And I'm all about like paranormal investigations and stuff like that. And,
even without the paranormal too, like even with just the true crime investigation portion of it, like trying to figure out, here's where it was at, here's where it took place, here's where this went down, here's where that went down. Like it's so fascinating to see. Like you try to get yourself in that mindset. Like what happened that day? You know what I mean? What happened?
Exactly. And actually, there's a case that has been a cold case of 40, I think it was like 40, 74. So a 46-year-old cold case in my hometown that the girl that it happened to, who was 17 at the time, and she went to the same high school as my mom, and she was abducted. Her and her boyfriend were in a car, and she was ripped away from the car. Her boyfriend was pistol whipped. And then she showed up like 3 days later, dead, raped, tortured, all this stuff, right? And recently it was solved. And it happens to be somebody that I know.
Oh, wow.
That I am very familiar with their family. And that actually the wife was the child care director when I was a child at our church.
Somebody you wouldn't suspect. It's funny how that happens too often. Somebody.
Yeah, she was right. I mean, and all these years, he was around me. He was around my family. But I'm gonna like cover this case hardcore. But this just came about. He was just arrested a couple of days ago, and he's like in his 70s, and but they're actually like a very religious Christian family. And so this is interesting because where it happened, I know where they live. I mean, it was a case that haunted my mom for years because the girl was a year younger than her. And for it to be solved and for it to be somebody that I've actually had personal contact with, and that I know their family intimately,
that's going to mess with your head. Oh my God. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it.
Sure.
But I mean, the wife, I love her. And like I said, I mean, she was the church that I went to They had a kindergarten. She was the director of that school. She was that when my sister was there, like 13 years later. She's
Good night, Bam Bam.
I love her so much. And I don't even know what they're going through right now, what she's going through.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to address Tammy's comment really fast about, because in the book it talks about that, Tammy. It talks about how, because I didn't know this before I read the book. I didn't know that Chris he thought the girls were dead before he went in to kill Shanann. And then they woke up and this is where she gets into the psychology of it again. She says that Chris says he was angry when he saw the girls were still alive when they came back in. He actually felt anger towards them, and that made him even feel more of a rage and careless. So yeah, he tried to kill the girls beforehand. And can you imagine? It said Bella's eyes were bruised when she walked back into the room in the book. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Can we just say something really quick? Because you know how passionate I am about this case. That anything Chris Watts says at this point is fucking bullshit. And anybody that would believe what he would say right now, it's like, take it with a grain of salt, because he is a psychopath.
And it's hard to tell what he is telling the truth on and what he's lying about. There's probably a mixture of everything. Something in there has to be somewhat truthful, but I'm sure there's a whole bunch of lies too.
Well, I'll tell you, God, yeah. I'll tell you, for me, here's, because like I said, I spent so much time on this case, and this whole thing that the girls were still alive when he left the house doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Okay, yeah. So what do you think about that? So you thought they were already gone when he left the house?
Absolutely, because, I mean, otherwise it makes him even into more of a monster to believe that he would. It just shows how fucking psychopathic he really is, to sit here and still have this resentment towards his family, right?
Yeah.
And he knows that any attention is better than none, so he's going to make it even worse than it really was. But I mean, to think that he would actually, these little girls would still be alive after he killed his wife, and then he would drag her body down the stairs, and they were just kind of there, kind of upset, but still alive, and he was loading her body and forced them to be alive, right, in the back seat, while their mom was on the floorboard and their little feet dangled above her. Right? I mean, it's just no way. I mean, I feel like it happened in the house, and he was loading all their bodies up in a freaking truck.
Well, now that you put it that way, if you watch the camera footage of Nate's, the next door neighbor.
Oh, I have a million times, trust me.
Yeah, right. And so he comes and goes a few times, or I think 3 different times, right? Jamie?
I mean, times, yeah.
And every time, it's not like he's carrying one of the girls, or he picks them up and loads them up in the back seat. Or anything. He does things that we can't see on camera because he has that butt end of the truck in the garage.
And he knows.
So
he knows.
I always had this vision in my mind that the girls were in their car seats in the back seat, Shanann's on the floor. He goes out to Survey 319 and, kills his daughters there. But I've never been 100% on that. And I'm like, where did that part happen? Where did that happen?
I believe he killed him there. And here's the thing. There's a part in that surveillance footage where, because he knows that his neighbor has that camera, and he is very methodical in everything that he does. And backing his truck up, he knows he has that barrier, right? So that he's kind of hidden in a way, and he has his truck backed up just enough. And so, but there's a part where he comes around the truck and he looks up at the surveillance camera, and is so chilling that he remembers, and he's like, oh fuck, I need to look like I'm doing something. So he goes back around the other side, and he looks like he's putting something in the bed of the truck, but he really isn't. And so you can see these things. And so it's just
okay. All right. See, that all makes perfect sense. Yes. Okay.
And also someone was saying further up, I highlighted it, but saying Chris wants to stay in the news. And actually she talks about that in the psychology part of the book too, because letters from Christopher, the book too and stuff, he feels, what he says is, with his newfound faith in God or whatever, he feels like now he can help people from prison, which I would not look up to him as. He's entitled to his faith, but I don't look up to him with his faith. I don't look up to him as a pastor. But it's like he does like that attention now. He does like that popularity because he's getting all this attention. And I think it even says somewhere in here that he feels like a celebrity or something. Do you remember that part, Nicole? In the book where he feels like a celebrity. Because, I mean, he is in a terrible way. He is
in his own way. But Cat in the Hat just made a comment, which is another good point. There was no car seats in his work truck. And in the story that he told, he said that the girls were in their car seats. Shanann was on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But there was no car seats in his work truck. The car seats stayed in Shanann's car in the garage.
Mm-hmm. He's a liar. He's a psychopath.
Wow. Okay. This is all kind of came together for me just now, where I'm like, aha! I just had an aha moment, you guys.
I mean, you can't trust him. I mean, look at everything leading up. I mean, first of all, he was leading a double life for a while. He was having an affair. His wife was pregnant. He had children. So this man, I don't even want to call him a man. Right. The horrible person. He lives a lie, and so, but he is also a cluster B. So he's gonna love any attention that he can get. Any book that will be written about him, any movie, any documentary, any amount of attention about him.
Guys, I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna have to step away, guys.
Yeah, feel better, Maxie. So sick.
Yeah, I'm not doing the greatest. I wish I could chime in more, guys. I have so much more to say on this. Yeah,
I know, we could be here all night. We still got to get to her.
We could. All right, guys. I hope you have a good night. Yeah, that's a great discussion, guys.
Yeah, thank you. And we'll get to like a close up on the book here in a minute. And then we actually had some trivia questions if you want to help us out with that. Jamie, we're going to do 5 questions related to the Watts case. And then we just have 5 prizes for whoever each one gets the answer correctly. So anyways, to wrap up the book, Jamie, I don't know if you know, we're going to read this one next. It's fictional. We had Tanya on here earlier. No Inclination.
Oh, Lord. Is that based on the movie, the made-for-TV?
No,
this is Tanya, the author. We had her on here earlier on the stream.
No. Oh, that's what he would say. He would say, I had no inclination. I have no inclination where they're at. I have no inclination.
Right.
I need a refill. I will be right back, guys.
Okay. So to sum it up, I mean, if you've read The Discovery, which I haven't, I mean, this book, well, no, I know you have. But I'm saying to people, I recommend this book if you kind of want a summary of it, but only the first third of it. The rest of it is all basically a psychology lesson. It's almost like what I feel is this book, she kind of wanted to write a book on psychology. And I feel like the way she did that was, let's do it about the Watts case. And then maybe that's what I get from this book. It was just my opinion. I feel like she kind of drew people in with the story, but most of the time just talked about freaking psychology. I'm like, dude, get back to the case. Love you, Mom. Yeah. That was my mom and my dad. Well,
Hey,
that's my
Mom.
dad's picture and my mama.
Hey, Robbie's mom. No, but that's kind of what true crime is about, though, is the psychology of the situation.
Yeah. Well,
It really
what
is.
made me mad about the book, Jamie, is it's not that she was talking about psychology that bugged me. What made me annoyed about it is she says in the book, I'm not going to diagnose him. But then she literally goes into every form of narcissism, every form of a psychopath and stuff, which is nice because it educates you on what each one is. But she kind of just completely goes off topic. And then like diagnoses him. I'm like, wait a minute. She just said she's not going to diagnose him. And then she diagnosed him. It was just strange to me. I got so annoyed. I was sending Nicole messages. I was like, what the fuck is this lady doing? Better.
Hey,
Showing off her bat skills again.
Send me that book so I can read it.
Well, we're actually, I'm going to keep this one because she wrote like a note in the beginning. We were going to do a giveaway, but we are doing No, I was gonna give it away, but there's like literally she wrote on it like to Robbie, blah blah blah. I'm like, nobody wants that. But this one with the trivia, I haven't read this one. Nicole did. This is gonna be given away with the trivia.
Wait, you wrote a book, Nicole?
No.
I'm like, what the hell? I'm like,
check out the picture on that. The picture on that cover.
Nicole, how many Nicoles are there?
You're right.
Yeah, that picture is creepy.
Jesus.
That is creepy.
So this is going to be one of the giveaway prizes.
Nice.
Two of the other ones are going to be Save Robbie mugs, right? And then what were you giving away for the other two?
Yes. So what I'm going to do for my two is I have 3, I want to say Yankee candles, but I think a couple of them might be Bath and Body Works, which are just as good. But I have a couple of seasonal candles, and I will let the winner pick out of 3 cents which one they want. I will mail you a very yummy holiday candle. And then one of the other things I was going to do is just straight from Amazon order the Chris Watts book that we are talking about today. My Daddy is a Hero.
Oh.
So,
yeah. And
nice.
So Nicole, when you stepped away, I was kind of summing up what I thought of the book. You already know I told everybody. So sum up what you thought before we get into the trivia part.
I gave it, what did I say? About a 6 out of 10. I think it started off really strong, really good reads. I tuned out, one of the reasons why, like I was saying before, what I'm interested in this case is the psychological aspect behind it regarding Watts and why he did what he did. And it's just unfathomable, everything. Mm-hmm. So the psychological part was good up to a point. Then I started to tune out. And like I said earlier, when I felt like I was just in a mundane psychology class where she delved away from the case and just started lecturing about different psychological aspects of narcissism and psychopathy and sociopathy.
And Jamie, you might like it for that, Jamie, since you like that. I would, part.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
I love that stuff too. I'm very interested in it. But when it came to what I thought I was reading in this book, I found myself like, oh, come on, get back to the case here. Get back to the case.
Yeah, me too.
So I give it a 6 out of 10. It's not the worst read I've ever had. So
no. And Jamie, before we get into the trivia, what do you think about this? Because I was talking about this earlier. We were kind of talking about this as you came on, as Chris's, he's saying he found God and forgiveness through God and all that. And the author is kind of diagnosing his relationship with God as, this is just a psychological thing. He's just saying that. What do you think about that?
Almost like a grandiose kind of thing, or, I mean, for me, Chris is definitely like a cluster B, and this is why for the longest time I called him Anti-Christopher, because when that other book came out, I was just like, this motherfucker is trying to claim that he's found God and all this shit. And I'm like, no, bitch, you have not. Like, no, you can't do this. And it's so for me, I mean, I can't say what's in somebody's heart per per se. I said per se. I had that like,
Ew.
but for the sake of this situation, I think he's going to use and manipulate things in his favor. And so,
especially at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anybody that like that's capable of doing what he did.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that they can't eventually find God, but you're not gonna find it with a snap of a finger, you know, in time to have a book written about you and a movie. And so all of that is very vain and surface level. So I do not believe that he has found God. No, I don't, because he lied about a whole bunch of shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And he continues to lie. And so no, I don't. And the way he treats his family, the way he treats his own family, even to this day, that's not indicative of like Christ-like behavior. So it's
see, I was saying, like, I think he, you know, how people are saying, oh, you know, he wants parole or he wants this, because even in the book it says, oh, he's trying to get out, which that's not going to happen. I think he went to God because he's scared of hell and the consequence of what happened. You know, kind of like a panic, you know, like, oh shit. So in that way,
think so. Robbie, I'm telling you, people, listen, psychopaths, sociopaths, they don't have that kind of reaction to anything. Do you understand? They don't have.
Well, yeah, he was saying like he doesn't even panic in the grocery store if he lost his kids. He didn't have that feeling of panic ever. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to have that kind of panic ever.
Emotion.
Yeah, they don't have, they are missing that link, right? And so
yeah, absolutely.
And so yeah, for me, it's whatever is going to get him into the good graces of the public, because it's all he really cared about. If you listen to the you know, the interviews that he had with the CBI and before he was arrested, all he really cared about is what people thought of him, right?
Yes.
And so that's really all he cares about, surface level, not reality, but what he can, the facade that he can project onto people. And so whatever is going to get him into the good graces of people and get him any attention, that's what he's going to do. I mean, eventually, maybe it will be genuine. I don't know. But I don't believe that he's found God. No, I don't. I don't. Okay. Don't. Absolutely not. Nope. Not one bit. Because he would never do what he did and lie like he did with these books. You know, letters from I call it letters from Anti-Christopher. I mean, it's disgusting. Telling why would he have to say Bella's last words, right? Why the fuck would he say something like that? Knowing, because you know why? Because he was fucking pissed at his in-laws for calling him a monster.
That makes sense.
That's why he wanted to punish them. And you can see it in his face at the hearing, the way that he was looking down and he was mad. I mean, he wouldn't even look up, but he was fucking mad when, you know, Shanann's father was calling him a monster, which he is. Yeah. And he was shaking his head, and he's like, mm-mm. And it's like...
Ava. Sorry, Ava was asking what book we're talking about. Yeah, I was curious to see what you thought about that, Jamie. Okay, so before we get into the trivia part, Jamie, do you want a chance to answer it too in the chat? Or do you just want to be up here and help us with the trivia?
I'll help you with the trivia.
Okay, so Nicole has all 5 of the questions. Oh, someone's mic's popping again. Okay, Nicole,
do you want me to text you the questions that you're going to read or whatever? So
or you can just read them.
You can put it in private chat if you want to.
Okay. This is my first time doing this, so yeah, I didn't think about that. Okay.
Little birdie.
That's Butters. Butters is so sweet.
Aww. So
yeah.
sweet.
Someone's
How do you want to do that?
Yeah,
is it? I don't think it's me.
It's not. Do you have a headset in, Jamie? It's popping a little bit.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, so Nicole's going to read questions related to the Watts case, and there's going to be 5 of them, and we'll have 5 prizes. So whoever answers each question first correctly, hey Poosh, will win the prize. So what do you want the first prize?
Great prizes this time. What one should I do first? You think? Should I do the candle?
Do this one first? Or we'll do this one last.
Let's do yours.
You want to do this one? Okay, so this is the book Two-Face by wait, what's it called? Two-Place Oblivion by Nick. Okay,
Vanderleek.
Nick Vanderleek.
Yeah.
This is kind of, you said it's kind of this along the same lines as the other book we just read, right?
It's good, but it's also very, highlights, it's all on the psychological aspect. So you would like that one, Jamie.
Is this mic better at all?
Yeah, that's so much better. It was just, you know how there's a pop. Yeah, there's no crackling this time.
Okay, good. I'm sorry.
It was like, you know how sometimes when you move a wire, it goes.
Yeah.
Okay. That one section isn't working. Oh, it's not. Oh, you know what? I think my Teespring expired. I think I need to renew the whatever you call it. It's like a promotion thing that lasts a little amount of time, but I'll renew it. Okay, go ahead. What's the first question?
Okay, the first question. When Chris Watts was giving his bullshit, narcissistic media interview on his front porch, what item of food did he state he wished the girls were home to throw at him? First one to answer was to pick an amazing candle.
Oh, I know this. I know the answer to this.
Make sure you're on live chat, guys, because Top Chat is not going to show who answered it first. You got to be on live chat.
Okay, I think Purple got it.
Let's see.
Yep.
Purple.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me see.
And can I just say thank you to Mandy for putting out my channel link. I have not really been active on YouTube until recently. Me and my good friend Caitlin are going to be starting a channel from that. So thank you, because it will get interesting soon, I promise, to those who subscribe.
Awesome. Great.
Okay. Thank you. That's really cool.
Kudos, Purple.
Purple butterfly. Right. Okay. I'm going to write these down.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait, I forgot already. Is it the candles or the book that you're doing? The book, right?
So Purple Butterfly just won this book. So Purple Butterfly, if you could email me your mailing information, let me put my email on the screen for you, and then I'll get that shipped out to you. Or you'll get Jamie in a box. Jamie, can we ship you in a box?
Thanks, Nanya. Thanks.
Hey. You could talk in your ASMR voice.
Hey.
I love her voice. I'm so jealous of your voice.
You get a night with me.
It's so pretty and feminine. I swear I sound like a total dude next to you. I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
No.
Nicole, remember the stream I sent you, Nicole, where I was talking all sexual when I said back when I was still drinking, and Jamie and I, remember Jamie?
Oh, that's me and my Robbie poo.
We're like,
and she's got the perfect voice for that too. Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Okay, next question. What national park did Chris Watts take his mistress, NK, to on the weekend of July 28th through the 29th, 2018? And I have a little bonus question attached to this. Oh, wait, what's the prize going to be for this one?
Oh. Jamie in a box. We'll do one of your candles. You want to do one of your candles?
Candle.
And actually, hold on a minute. Did you guys? Oh shit! Did you see who got
you guys
it
are all saying the sand dunes, but be more specific.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Breakfast.
I'm sorry.
It's all deep and gravelly.
Did Dawn Marie get it?
Well, we need somebody to be more specific than just sand dunes, because
I think Dawn Marie got it. Look, she says the Great Sand Dunes National.
Okay, that's good enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
just a little bonus question I added to it. It doesn't matter who answers first, but what other nearby attraction did they go to? They took pictures here.
Oh, damn it. I was going to answer. I'm sorry.
Well, this one's not for a prize. This is just a bonus.
Not Yosemite, Lufa.
Didn't they go to like, I know they went to like they went to like a car museum thing.
They did, but no.
No, that wasn't it. Shit.
They went to, has anybody answered? Somebody kind of has it. They said a waterfall. Tijuana. I love you, Lupa.
Tijuana? Like, so they were in Colorado and they were in Tijuana for a Dawson show. And they went back.
Zapata Falls. Somebody got that. Who is it? Katia? I hate mispronouncing people's names, so I'd like to know how to say it right.
Katia. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to lead you astray.
Okay, so who got the national park question first?
That was Dawn Marie, because she got it. She said the national, because that national is what you were looking for, right?
The national park, yeah. Okay.
They did go to a car museum, though. You're right. They did. Those motherfuckers.
Okay, guys, since my hold on one sec. Since my merch link isn't working, whoever wins the mugs is gonna get this one. It says "Fueled by Caffeine and Crime Shows." It's a mug. So we'll do that one instead.
They can't get a date with you.
They could win a date with Tad Hamilton.
No, it's you.
At the Piggly Wiggly.
Robbie. Come on now.
Yeah, everybody's lining up for that right now, and it's just not. Okay. So wait, what was the other prize that you had? So Dawn Marie just won the candle.
So this one's the candle. But she has to pick between three. So she needs to tell me
what are the smells. What are the?
So this is a Yankee candle. It's a smaller one. This is White Christmas.
White Christmas.
Smells lush. This is a bigger 3-wick one, which I usually like to get. I think
I like bigger is better.
Yeah. She can get away with anything with that voice, I'm telling you.
She sure can.
This is a Bath and Body Works one. This is called Frozen Lake, and it smells so good.
Oh.
Yes. Okay, then I'm sorry. Who won?
Dawn Marie. So Dawn Marie, make sure you email me which one you want so I can tell Nicole and your information.
And then the third one, Dawn Marie, is also a Bath and Body Works one. This is so good. One.
What is it?
Which one?
Pomelo Pine.
Oh.
And it's also a big 3-wicker.
Oh, damn. Fuck.
We like a 3-wicker. Like a 3-wicker. Jamie, you like that 3-wicker?
No, I don't want 3 of anything.
So sexy. I'm like, I know.
Oh, tell your friend to come wave at us and say hi if she wants to.
Come over here, Caitlin.
Okay, so
who's going to start my channel with me? So.
Oh, okay. All right. So is the next question another candle the third question?
I only wanted to give away one. This is
Hi,
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
Hi. Hello. Hey.
I don't think
Have
she
a
could
good
hear because you're in her
night.
earphone. She's in her earphone.
That's right.
Have a great night.
So Dawn Marie is going to email you what's sent.
Yep.
Okay.
Pick that scent. Okay.
Okay. So for the third question, Neil distracted. What should the prize be for the third one?
Oh, we'll do one of these crime mugs. How about that?
Okay. Perfect.
Or we could do another 3-wicker.
I'm just gonna mail one to Jamie. I mean, she just got one.
Okay,
Oh
so
my
whoever wins this one will get a crime mug that says "Fueled by Caffeine and Crime Shows."
God. Nice.
And
Oh,
this one first.
There we go.
We're interested in following everything with Chris Watts. What fellow prisoner at the Dodge Correctional Facility that he's now in Waupun, Wisconsin, did Chris Watts reportedly take under his wing
Oh God, Jesus Christ.
and were rumored to be prison buddies? Hint, this guy is no longer in prison. He got moved down to a facility in New Mexico.
Hey, I don't know.
I forget the answer. So tell who I don't know which one.
Actually, because the guy who the answer to this was also a very popular case in crime that had happened. So, I mean,
Did his name start with the same?
no,
letter?
I'll give a hint. The letter of his first name is J.
So
Manson.
nobody got it yet.
No, not Manson.
No one got it yet.
God,
People are
he took him
onto it, but they're
under
not
his
sure of it.
wing.
Stephen Avery.
No, like there was another.
What was
There
Stephen? What's the name of that show?
See what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking in the chat.
Oh,
Let me just say it now. Well, wait.
Yeah.
We have to answer.
Yeah, who? I don't think anybody got it yet. Can you type in the private chat what the answer is so I can see?
Yes.
Where the hell is my private chat? I don't have one.
What?
yeah, there is. There's a private. I see a private chat.
I don't see mine.
You don't see
gone.
yours? You have to
No, it's like
hit private chat. You gotta click that.
yeah, you
Oh,
know how that option is normally up there.
Who does it go to? Do I have to like pick somebody to send it to? Or is it just all of us who are on?
Just us
No,
three can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, just us.
Oh, someone said Jake Patterson.
Yes, that's who it is.
Okay, so let me make sure. I think it was Christina that got it first.
Jerry.
Christina Biggers. Christina Biggers got it first.
Okay.
Okay, so you, Christina, my email's on the screen. So just email me and I'll order you one of those mugs. And Lufa, you can buy one on eBay just because these aren't my mugs. These are off eBay. They're just true crime mugs. Christina Biggers.
Oh, Jake
Okay,
Patterson.
Andy, you're doing
They're
that. I'm going to
prison
subscribe to you too.
buddies.
So
You know what was
There's
happening?
my private chat.
There. You know what was happening? Prison buddies. We know what was happening with them.
well, I just want to explain to you
Prison
who,
buddies.
for those who don't know, Jake Patterson, it happened in October of 2018. So a couple months after the Watts crime happened.
Becky Boo was saying, oh, sorry.
No.
Sorry. Becky Boo was just saying, how did he do that if he's in, if he's segregated, is what Becky Boo asked.
He kidnapped Jamie Kloss and murdered both of her parents.
He kidnapped Jamie Kloss in
Oh
Barron,
my
Wisconsin,
God.
killed her parents. Yeah.
Fuck.
So with a shotgun, I think it was.
Jesus. Damn. Like,
And he had how he didn't know her beforehand, anything. He saw her getting off of a bus and walking one day. And according to his interview, said, that's the one I want.
oh my
So he
God.
was following all that for a couple days and found the time to go in and get her.
Wow.
People are nuts, man.
So basically, they were fuck buddies. That's basically what is happening here.
It's very possible.
I
Yes.
really feel it. I feel it.
There's Sandra the hamster. Sandra, go to bed.
The hamster, that's so funny.
We're no, this is adult talk right now.
Okay, fourth,
hear that.
we got 2 questions left. I need to go eat here in a few minutes. This coffee has made me like, since I don't drink alcohol anymore, if I drink coffee, I get like, oh my God, I need food. So,
man, I need to start thriving again. My Thrive is here. I just have been so lazy these past couple of weeks, and
yeah.
I haven't back in the Thrive group. Hey, can we do a cheers one more time to the Iris mug too?
Oh my God, Jamie, if you have not checked out Iris on YouTube and Facebook, Nicole and I love her. So we made Iris mugs. Jamie, I'll send you her link. She's so hilarious.
I'm sorry, I've been off. Like, you guys know, I've taken a break from YouTube for a while.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's taking quite a long break.
Like,
but it's good for you to come back at least here.
Yeah.
We miss your crazy fun streams.
I miss them too, like myself, you know.
Yeah, and
So
Jamie, if you want,
back, or are you just kind of partly back?
I will be back. Actually, with this new case, like I said, that has been this cold case that has been solved in my hometown.
Mhm.
I'm definitely gonna cover that shit. So yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, and Jamie,
I'm gonna subscribe to you when I'm done here.
Yeah, I don't know when, because once she gets her book, if you want to read this, we're actually going to have the author. She was on the panel earlier. She's going to come back when we do the book review and talk about this book.
So is it based? It's fictional though.
Yes, but it is the story. It's still the story. I'm interested. I don't know yet, so I'll find out.
She changes names, and I don't know what else she does different, but she did say she has changed the names and things. So
yes. Okay, fourth question.
Okay, fourth question. What's the prize for this one?
Papa's hungry. We'll do whatever your other prize is, and then the last one we'll do one more mug.
Okay. So my other prize, I'm going to get on Amazon and order the book that the base of this whole panel tonight was My Daddy is a Hero. I'm going to get on Amazon and just order that for you and have it sent directly to your house. So you would just email Robbie your address and name, and I'll get that to you.
Yep.
These two are great, you guys. These two right here.
Yeah, and Nicole doesn't even have a channel. This is her first panel ever tonight, like ever.
Really?
She's great.
You've never been on a panel?
No,
before?
I have a channel, but I mean, I'm not acting like this on it. But me and my friend have been talking about it for a while. We really want to. So, and now that
I want to have
down about a mic yesterday, and my little red.
You have the snowball too. You got
Yes,
that snowball? I got the dick one, the big.
What
it's the blue. It's the same company, but it looks like it's long. And
Mine's blue.
but y'all do have the little snowballs or whatever.
Girl, you know what you're doing.
We have the Mary Marlowe mics. That's what I call them. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to put Nicole's link in the chat again, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Need
And
to
it's very
subscribe to
lame
her.
right now. I've never done anything live, but I'm about to. So
Good for you, girl. Like, you're doing great for your first time live.
you.
Seriously.
She is.
If it's things I'm interested in, then absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know. So
Girl.
yeah. Well, isn't that why we all do it?
Knows.
Interested in, so
That's why we should, yes.
Yeah.
So, guys, I just put her link in the chat again. Okay, what's the other question? The
Okay.
fourth one?
Question.
Then this will be for her, the book. This book.
Okay, so for the book, My Daddy is a Hero. This one's kind of easy. Who played Chris Watts in the Lifetime movie, Chris Watts, Confessions of a Killer? Whoever can Google the fastest.
I know. They're all Googling. I don't know this.
Is that the last question?
No, we got one more after this.
Oh, okay. I have no fucking idea.
I didn't either. I had to Google the answer.
All I know is that Shanann's family was not okay with that.
With the movie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cat on the Hat. Thank you.
Oh, is it? Someone said, Lufa said Chris Rock.
Oh my God.
Is it Sean Clier?
Yes.
Okay, Mandy, you got it.
Okay, Mandy got it. Great.
Mandy, yay. So Mandy, email me your info for her to order that for you.
Why doesn't Lufa go live, or does she? Why am I not following Lufa after all this time?
Oh, she does. She does.
What?
Yeah.
Lufa goes live and I didn't know about this? Oh my God.
She does. And she's just as entertaining live as she is in the chat.
Is she really?
She is. Okay, so
yeah.
Jamie dropped out.
When I'm done here.
Okay, so last question. It'll be again for one of these mugs fueled by caffeine and crime shows. Okay.
This is one that you would have to be very knowledgeable about this case. So, what was the name of the lead detective who notoriously interrogated Chris Watts? Here's a hint. He had to take a leave of absence due to PTSD after the case and has not been back to the department since. And he was one of the ones that went to the Wisconsin prison with the female detective.
See my 22 said Sean Clyte? Sean Cleat?
Sean Clyer's the last question, the actor.
Someone said Bumhauer. Nope. Boomer.
Okay, they're getting close.
Nenya said that woman. Dave Baumhover.
Yes. Whoever says a Baumhover first, Baumhover, Dave, is right.
Okay. Scout said Det Bromhover. But
detective. Yeah.
Katia R said Dave Baumhover.
Let me scroll up in the comments here and see who did that first. And
I got
a question for, who was it? Nanya. She had a birthday thing on her channel, her live birthday party. Lufa did?
Yes. Oh my God, yes. I listened to that in the bathtub.
How am I missing this?
That was on Sweet Crazy's channel, yeah.
Oh, Lufa. I am so subscribing when I'm done here. Okay. Yeah, so who won? Who got that?
Well, you were looking for Dave Baumhover, right?
Yeah, Mandy. Debt equals detective, Robbie, just so you know.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, then if that's the case, then Scout got it first, Detective Bromhover, but she just spelled it. If you were looking for the full name, but there were other people further up that said just the last name. So how do you want that to go?
I don't want to be that picky about it.
Okay, then if that's the case, then it looks like Sassy Antique said Baumhauer, but just spelled it wrong. I don't know.
The proper spelling is Baumhover.
Okay, well, in that case, it looks like Becky Boo got it first.
Okay, we'll go with that.
With the correct. Okay,
that's
so
the name,
Baumhover, so Baumhover, Becky Boo got it.
Perfect.
So that was for a mug. Becky Boo, email me, and so we can get all of these. So congratulations. And this was fun. I mean, seriously, we could talk and talk and talk and talk forever, just like we do anyways, every day about it.
I just noticed something. What happened to Jamie? She's gone.
Yeah, she dropped out. I don't know. She hasn't come back.
How long has she been gone for? I didn't even notice.
It was like a couple minutes ago. She just popped off.
I'm too busy with my loud ass voice just blabbing about something. I'm sorry, Jamie.
Yeah, she changed her phone number. I was going to text her, but I guess I can email her. But
hey, bye, Jamie.
I came in at a bad time. Try to tell you, hey, Robbie. Hey, Andrews. Yeah, you popped in the middle of the quiz. But yeah, that was fun. Hey, Amber. So yeah, the winners, email me again. So we don't know when we're going to do the next one, but if you guys, again, just tuned in or whatever, we're about to end this here in a few minutes, but this is going to be the next book we're reading by Tanya Hagen, No Inclination, and it is inspired by the true story of the Chris Watts case. So we will have another discussion and probably more trivia.
Till the sun comes up, but we got things to do.
I know. Hey, Ambi Bambi. So yeah, thank you. You did awesome for your first time, Nicole.
Oh,
so awesome.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you're a natural. Oh, one more time, I'm going to put Nicole's link in the chat. Just
thank you, guys.
And you guys, she is just starting her channel, so I'm going to give you her link just so you could connect with her there's no content on there really yet. So
There will
thanks,
be.
Lufa. There definitely will be. Yeah,
I'll have
thank
you as my
guys.
guest, Robbie.
Ooh, yay, fun. That'll be fun. All right, guys. Well, and Jamie, I don't know where you went, but
I know.
Love
Oh,
you,
so she didn't
Jamie.
say bye to you either?
no, she just dropped off. She just disappeared.
With that voice, she can do whatever the hell she wants.
It was fun, Mandy. I loved coming in the room and seeing the bird on. Yeah, Butters was a big hit. Everybody loves Butters.
I don't know where she went. Oh, there's Rudy. Hi, Baba.
Oh, can you show Rudy to everybody? I love Rudy. I love. All right, can you show us your bunny or no before we go?
It's she taught out Caitlin.
She okay.
You see
Her
him?
bunny walks around like a dog in the house. So cute.
Oh, he's potty trained. Yeah,
Yeah, he is potty trained.
he's hiding somewhere right now.
Uh,
I will bring him sometime soon. I
Okay.
promise.
Okay. Yeah, let me put Jamie's link in the chat, guys. Somebody was asking for making lemonades channel.
Yeah, I need to follow Jamie. I need to follow Lufa.
Yeah, if you have a wrench and you want your
Thank
channel
you,
link,
Lucky
just
Troll.
drop it in there.
What did Rudy do?
Nanya, thank you. I appreciate that, Nanya. You know I love you, Nanya. Don't say
I love
Snow
Nanya
White's
too.
name in here. I don't like Snow White. Don Marie. Oh, love you too, Lufa. All right, guys. I'll let you go hang out. Thank you so much, Nicole, for being so wonderful and great.
Thank you for having me
Jamie.
on. I'm honored. Thank you so much. This was so fun. And thank you to
course.
everybody in the comments. You guys are just so nice and amazing. So
Yeah, and thank you, Mexi and Tanya, for coming on earlier too, and Jamie.
mhm.
All right, guys. Well, make sure you read that book because we'll be doing a review. We'll give you the date pretty soon. Oh, love you. There's Jamie. Love you, Jamie. You just dropped
There
out.
she is.
She needed a break. All right,
Nice to
guys.
meet
Well,
you,
good
Jamie.
night. Nicole, do you want to stay on for a minute after I end this, or
I'm good.
okay?
I'm good.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.